Okay, YouTube, I'm going to post a series of videos as I go through my restoration. Not sure where it's going to lead me, but I just kind of want to show you what my progress looks like. So here we go. Let me show you what I've been working on. So this is it. This is what it's come to. What I found was I found a shelter logic, and I thought I could kind of use this because it's winter time. I could kind of keep things under tarp, especially the rolling chassis. Once body comes off, I can store that inside, but the key is to keep the chassis, accessible. I could kind of roll it out. So I started disassembling it. Started with the hood, did fenders, stuff like that. So this is what it looks like stripped down. That's it. The bumpers off. I already did the bumpers, the front and the back. I sandblasted those, painted those, put those away. I'm just going to try to do it one step at a time. Because primarily I'm working on it on the nights and weekends. Let me show you what body work I'm doing here. So I took the fenders off. For the most part, they're not in bad shape. I got a few rough spots here, along there. I already did one patch. I'm kind of new at this, with the help from a good friend who does a lot of body work. He's just kind of coaching me along the way. So I'll try to show you what I do, and I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it's better than a body with Swiss cheese for the metal. So as you can see, this piece over here, dented. It was repaired before, and so I cut that out, and now I'm going to put a patch in. This is what was there. Of course, it's a little mangled up. I mean, there was a lot of Bondo and stuff filling it. Bondo is not a great way to repair a body. Fills divots, but not make metal appear. So this is going to be my patch. This came off of a donor fender that actually came with the vehicle. I'll show you that right there. So that's been helpful. I figure, and that's got some rust on it, so I can kind of use that for parts. Obviously, that's where I took that out of. So what I did was I cut it out, past the rot, stripped off, the Bondo, scraped it off. I got a little more to do here before I weld. And so right now I'm working on just getting this fitted. I want to get a good shape to it. It's close, but we're not quite there yet. So I'll try to post that. Here's a picture of some of the parts off. This is right above the wheel well. So we got those stripped down. A lot of the nuts and bolts just kind of broke off. What I found that was key is, you could use some little oil on the back. That's helpful. Really, I found was most helpful, I'll show you that, is a settling torch with a little jeweler's tip on. I use this for my work, but you can get a really tight flame, and I just heat the back side of the bolt up, and I didn't have any trouble getting those off. That was just a really helpful thing. I'm going to replace the bolts anyways, but once the bolts get broken off in the nuts, you got to tap those out and rethread them, and that's a lot of work. But this is what I'm working with. I don't think I've showed you a picture of my shop yet. I do woodworking as my business, so I got a lot of woodworking machines, but I also do some fabrication. So this is my welding cart setup. I've got a Lincoln 220 volt MIG, and I purchased this. This is a Harbor Freight TIG welder. I'm actually very surprised for the money. I didn't have a ton of money to throw at a TIG, Just want to get started with it. But that has been very helpful. It actually does a pretty good job. You can't the run time is short. Like the tip gets pretty hot, so you just got to let it cool. You just got to take your time with it. But I was getting very decent welds with it. So yeah, so that's my setup there. Okay, so right here we are sandblasting the parts of the body. This is what it looks like during the process. I used a liquid stripper to strip, maybe 75% of the paint off. Actually did a pretty good job, and so now we're getting down to bare metal. Here's a look at the fender. We made some patches. I know on this one we're gonna have to do another patch, but I don't know what it's gonna look like until we get it off. Especially right there, it looks like somebody patched it. There was a dent. We made this patch already. I think that turned out pretty good. But yeah, so this is kind of how the operation is. You can hear the compressor running in the back. Sandblasters are an air hog. So let me show you what else we got going on. I want to do the hood today. So this is actually Thanksgiving weekend. Had a few days off. I just want to work on that. We're going to strip the paint off of that here in a little bit. Here's another fender that we did already. This piece right here is a patch. On the other side, you can see where we patched that hole. I think it came out pretty good so far. Here's some more pieces. We got those blasted. So yeah, working off some things. Here's our sacrifice panel. It's been very helpful. So yeah, so that's what we got so far. All right, talk to you soon. All right, here's something that we kind of came across in a fender. I kind of knew that there was a patch there, but I mean, this could be, realistic of what other guys might find out there. So this was probably rusted because there's a support bracket underneath, and then someone had later, put a scab over it. What they actually did was they actually put the metal over the top of the body panel. Could have been dented, or they could have got this maybe too hot. There was probably about a ½ inch of filler on there. What I did to get that off, I heated it up. I mean, I just used a torch. You don't want to get too hot that you're warping the panel, but just to soften up the Bondo. And then I just scraped it off. Bit of a mess, but we got it off. So it looks like I'm going to have to maybe even make a patch come up here. We got a hole right there and go down. So hopefully that's what we're going to use that for. All right. The other thing I'm going to do before I patch it, I'm going to sandblast it. That way I could actually see what's going on and we're not getting any contamination in the weld. So I'm going to sandblast that right now. So we took that fender and cleaned off all the paint that we stripped off, and here's what we have now. You can definitely see where the patch was. It may even look like there was a weld here, and then they patched over that, obviously the hole there. So we're going to try to find a patch to make right here. And we'll show you the next video after that. Alright, so we're at the fabrication stage. I try to use this fender here for a piece, but it's too dented up. It's it's been filled a bunch, and we just don't have enough material there. So what I ended up doing, I had purchased some sheet stock for my repairs. We formed this one. I just did it on the vise, and then I also got this old piece of railroad track that was really helpful. little forming, but I think we got it. So I think that's a good start. Next step is I'm going to kind of trace this out and then cut my body and get that old stuff out. Okay, so here's where we're at next, is that we got a piece of metal formed, and I put it in there. We just tack welded it. I think it's a pretty good shape. It's what we are supposed to have. Let's see, let me flip this over. So just bear with me. So I also drilled some holes. We'll plug weld those, just like, it's kind of like an original spot weld. And then this I'll just form, I'll just grind down to the other piece of metal here. But that's not too bad. But yeah, that's what it looks like underneath. The underside's coated with a weldable primer, just to get a little protection, because I did sandblast the underside there, so that's just bare metal. So, all right. Okay, here's final product. I've got my panel in. I got it stitch weld and work down. Also sandblasted it so you get a good idea what it looks like. So we went from this to that. I think we could work from there. I think I did a pretty good job not heating the metal up, so it didn't distort. Whereas my last panel I did, I think I got a little distortion. I just tried to take my time at this. So yeah, so that's the end result. All right.